This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my recap and review of The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 18, titled The Mines of Mandalore. And there's going to be some major spoilers in this, and I'll have my recap of The Bad Batch out in probably about half an hour. I am going to finish recording this and upload it, and then I will be uploading that after I finish recording it. And I already have all the screenshots, so it should take like 15-20 minutes. Should be up in half an hour though. The review of that episode has already been out. And let's go straight into the recap of this episode. On the planet of Tatooine, Pelimoto goes and scams one of the Rodians, having Jawa steal parts to his speeder and charging ridiculous prices to have it fully repaired. And after he leaves, Din Djarin returns, looking for the pieces he needs to repair IG-11, and after talking to Pelly, she says that this is not going to be possible for her to get, and the Jawas won't be able to get it either, and she offers him R5D4, the droid that was once nearly purchased by Owen Lars and Luke Skywalker, and with this, he agrees, and Pelly modifies the starfighter back to its original purpose, reinstalling the astromech port, and with this, he is ready to go to Mandalore. Djarin flies in and looks upon the planet which is so important to his people, telling Grogu how he has never been here and grew up on the moon of Concordia. And after this, they fly into the planet and learn that because of all the bombings that took place, all the sensors have been scrambled and they won't be able to get messages off planet. R5 is sent out to go see if the atmosphere is breathable, but quickly disappears off their sensors, and knowing he has to go figure out what happened, Din tells Grogu to stay with the ship as he pressurizes his helmet and goes out to see what has happened. Din is quickly ambushed by creatures that once roamed Mandalore's surface, and with this he's able to save R5 and bring him back to the ship. And with this, they complete their diagnostic scans of the planet and quickly learn that the atmosphere is breathable and there is no deadly radiation in it. Djarin and Grogu head into the civic center of Sundari, where they begin to descend down so they can make it towards the mines. Making it to the street level, they begin to look around the city, and with this, they continue on until Djarin finds a old Mandalorian helmet buried in the ground. But it quickly turns out that this is a trap, and a cage closes around Djarin, giving him no room to move. And since he is trapped, he is dragged away as Grogu follows him. Once Grogu reaches the same location, he sees an odd creature begin to disarm Djarin, and then he goes to do other things. Grogu tries to rescue him, but isn't able to. Djarin begs for him to go get Bo-Katan's help, and Grogu goes, escaping from the planet of Mandalore. As the N1 starfighter lands, Bo-Katan is pretty furious and goes to tell Djarin that she doesn't want to deal with him, but is quickly concerned when all she sees is Grogu inside of the fighter. She quickly asks him what happened, and not getting a response, she goes to hook up the droid R5's memory system to figure out what happened. She quickly takes Grogu to Mandalore to go and help save Djarin. Bo-Katan begins to follow Grogu as he leads her through the city and goes down once again to the streets. And when there, Grogu is pretty frightened, and Bo-Katan does reassure him and tells him that everything will be alright. Bo-Katan manages to fight off more of the creatures and then goes and begins to rescue Jaren, having to fight off the creature in two different bodies of armor. And after she does this, she takes Jaren to safety. And while there, she makes a traditional Mandalorian soup and begins to discuss things with Jaren about her past and her experience with the rituals of Mandalore. And with this, she agrees to go with him and leads him to the entrance of the Mines of Mandalore. Entering near the living waters, Bo-Katan mockingly reads off a plaque that explains how the first Mandalore, Mandalore the Great, was able to tame the mighty mythosaur here, and how that after this, the mythosaur was taken as a symbol of Mandalorian strength. And after this, Jaren prepares to get into the living waters and begins to recite the creed of the Mandalore. But after he takes a few steps in, there turns out to be a giant gap and he falls in, heading down towards the bottom with his armor weighing him down. Bo-Katan jumps in immediately after to go and save him. Bo-Katan reaches the bottom and manages to pull Jaren up, and as they ascend to the top, she is in shock as she sees one of the mighty mythosaur still alive and living in the waters of Mandalore. She makes it to the top in shock and puts Jaren out to rest and catches breath from being in the water. And yeah, that was an interesting episode. I really enjoyed the story they had with the Mandalorian and just how much happened in this. I did not expect him to be making it to Mandalore until the mid-season, and that was at the earliest. I didn't think it would be at the end of the season because it was shown in the trailers, and I think they were going to try and keep the end of the season pretty mysterious. But yeah, honestly, that was just such a crazy episode. Really crazy to see some things, and of the simplest things, it was nice to see the little thing like Pelly going and scamming the Rhodian, and some other fun stuff was just seeing Bo-Katan just get a little more redemption and getting to look more into the ruins of Mandalore. But really, the crazy things happened as the story continued, and we had to see Grogu repay the Mandalorian Din Djarin for saving him so many times by having to be the one who led the rescue mission to save him, and the fact he needed help didn't really take anything away from it because Djarin needed help both times to be able to save Grogu and keep him safe, and that was really impressive to see. And the story was just so interesting and so well done. I had so much fun when I was watching it, and I really couldn't wait to see how it continued because this was really crazy. The Mythosaur was a really insane thing to see, and was something that I was kind of hoping to see, but I didn't think that we would actually see one, or if we did, we wouldn't see it till the end of the season, but it was really cool to see just a little bit of it. Of course, it was obscured in the shadow, and really only got to see a little bit of the horns and of the head, so you could just barely tell what it was, but didn't really need much more. And yeah, honestly, that was just a really cool thing to see, and I really just can't wait to see how this continues because the story really was a really crazy one and really well told. I really enjoyed everything with it, and I think that they're doing such a great job this season. And honestly, between this and Bad Batch and Jedi Battle Scars, which I'll do the review of on Saturday, I just really can't decide what was the best Star Wars thing we got in the last 24 hours because it's all been so amazing. And I really just can't wait to see how this continues. But I do want to know what you think. What do you think of this episode of The Mandalorian? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.